It's surprising when we find gaps in discipleship. One of the gaps that exist in the church right now is most people don't get focused teaching on putting sin to death. Just think about it for a moment. If you've been in a church for several years, you've probably had countless opportunities to sit through a course or do a Bible study on the topic of prayer. You probably repeatedly get invitations to take some kind of course to help you learn how to share the gospel with unbelievers. But when's the last time anybody has actually given you focused teaching on what we can do to put sin to death in our life? A lot of us don't even think that's possible. Yet what's so interesting is that when Paul talks about sin, he says, if you live according to the flesh, you will die. But if by the Spirit you put to death the deeds of the body, you will live. So in Paul's mind, this is something that should be a part of our lives as Christians. Surviving the Trenches, this is a book for men. It's a book that is meant to equip men to begin to battle against sin. It's not a simple guide. There's no promise that you're going to be able to eradicate sin in 6 months or a year. But the goal is, if you feel like you don't have any tools with which to fight sin, this book is for you. What it's going to do is it's going to give you a basic context. It's going to begin with the 10 rules of war. And so you're going to understand the kind of battle you're in with sin. It's going to take you into the kind of psychology of sin, to think about the kind of lies, the kind of deceit that affects our choices, and it helps to ingrain deep habits in our lives. But it's also going to take you into the heart, and it's going to help you do battle with those deeply entrenched sins, the ones that you've been struggling with, not just for weeks and months, but for years. But there's something else this book's going to do. It's going to focus on 4 particular sins that are killing modern Christian men. Sins that are prevalent in our society, sins that you wrestle with as a man. And there's going to be focused treatment on what you can do to combat such sins. So if you're one of these guys, you're thinking, I really don't know what I can do to resist sin, much less begin to put it to death. It's a simple book, focused for men, focused on the contemporary struggles that we have, and it can be a guide for you to begin to seriously battle against the sin and temptation in your life.